Hello everyone, I welcome you all in this basic OOABAP session. Today we are going to learn about what classes are and what objects are and what is the relationship between the classes and the objects. So there is always a question, who comes first, whether the classes or the objects, because we have to, link these two things in order to start with object oriented ABAP. So in that sense, in any object oriented programming, we have to be very much clear about the idea behind objects and classes. So I always take an example, like when we were in our engineering college, right? We were having different branches, like few of them were having the computer science branch and few of them were having the electronics branch, and many other branches can be there. So if you could consider, like inside computer science class, we were having a group of students who were learning only about the computer science, and on the other hand, in any other branches like the electronics, there is a group of students who would be learning only about the electronics. So if you could consider, if you could consider the students sitting in the class as an object, you can consider the students sitting in a class as an object. And so if would now I would ask you, who comes first, whether the class or the students? So the answer should be the objects, group of objects or group of students who are having the similar characteristics or similar characteristics and similar behavior, in sense, the group of students who are sitting in electronics will only behave as per the syllabus designed for electronics, and a group of students who are sitting inside the computer science class should behave in a way or should study in a way the syllabus designed for computer science. So the objects in both the classes are different, having different behavior and having different characteristics, right? The way they perform, the way the examination they are going to appear in. So a group of the objects you can consider, considering the characteristics, the common characteristics and the behavior which objects are having. A group of objects having common characteristics and common behavior, for them we can design a class. So in other words, we can also say, like, class is a template having common characteristics and behavior. From where these are coming from? These are coming from the objects. So before designing a class, we should be well aware about our objects. So we designed the computer science class because we are aware, like, this group of people would be sitting inside this class, and only the teachers related to the computer science will get into this class and perform their activities. Same is the case with electronics, right? So I can say this is a class. Okay, this is a class. So class is nothing but a template. It's a template. So class is nothing but a template having common characteristics and behavior of objects. Okay, so if we consider the object, if we are well aware of our object, and if we are aware of the common characteristics and behavior of our objects, then we can go ahead and design a template like this. This group of objects can be controlled via this particular template, that is your class. So class is a template having common characteristics and behavior of the objects. Okay, Now, we talk about the objects. Before designing our class, we should be aware about our objects, right? The common characteristics and common behavior. So when I say common characteristics, that means you can consider it as the attributes in technical terms. When I say common behavior, you can consider it as the methods. So technically speaking, when I say the common characteristics, it means your attributes, and when I say common behavior, it means your methods, the kind of actions which the objects of the class will perform. That is the behavior. So kind of action, like they will write an exam. So write an exam is a method. Write exam is a method of, let's say, for both the, okay, we'll try to, let's say we have two classes. Class 1 is for the computer science and class 2 is for the electronics and communications. Okay, so there is one behavior. All the objects of this particular class will behave in a particular way, like we say write exam. Okay, in the same way, in the electronics we can have the same method called write exam, but the syllabus which the objects of the computer science will have will be different from the syllabus which the object of electronics and communication will have. So both the objects of the class may perform different functions. Okay, so this is how the behavior of a class means. So when I say common behavior, that means the common methods, like a student, he will walk, he will talk, he will write an exam. So all sort of common behaviors. Okay, and what about the characteristics? Like he belongs to electronics and communication, or he belongs to computer science. So in that way, these are the characteristics. Okay, so hope you understood the linking between the objects and the classes. Okay, so before winding this session up, a class is a template which is having the common characteristics and common behavior of the objects. So before designing a class, we should be well aware of our objects, how they behave, what are the common characteristics. So if we know about the characteristics and behavior of our objects, then the life would be easy for us in order to design our class. Okay, so hope you understood both the things. So in the common terms, like the terminology wise, if we can say, like, what is a class? Class is a template of an object or the common character or the common behavior of your objects. What is an object then? Object is nothing but an instance of a class. When I say instance of a class, that means a student who is sitting in the computer science, he is one of the instance of that particular template. A student who is sitting in the electronics and communication would be an instance of a class EC, electronics and communication. So we should know by now, class is a template having common characteristics and behavior. At the same time, an object is an instance of the class. Hope you enjoyed this session. In the next session, we will see how many types of classes, how we will define a class, and all sort of things. Hope you enjoyed this session. Thanks for joining this session.